Over the years, tops have always tried to try me. So, like, if you're a top like me, one of the things you'll realize is that obviously at some point in online dating, you're going to bump into other tops. And the thing about tops is that they can be completely ruthless and they will try you. They will fucking try you. This there was this one time where this guy, I didn't know he was a top. His profile didn't say anything, but mine's did. And me, I'm like really big on respect, so I'm falsely assuming that other people are going to give you that respect. They go to your profile, they see top in your profile, and then they're not going to try you. They're not going to try to get you to bottom. They're not going to try to coerce you or anything like that, right? So this guy's online. He looks good. I hit him up. I compliment his hair or something. And this dude is like so disrespectful. One, he doesn't even reply with words. This dude literally replies to me with a dick picture, right? So I see his dick picture pop up, and I'm irritated for two reasons. Instantly, I'm instantly irritated. One reason is that he didn't reply with words, right? It's like, oh, so you're too good. You're too good or too good looking that you can't actually say a sentence back. You can't type a sentence into this app on Jacked and reply to me. And then two, the thing you did reply with was your dick, as if I wanted that. And I'm going to explain exactly why he did this, because I understand the psychology of what tops are doing in our hookup culture, okay? First, I was upset because I was like, why would he send me a fucking dick pic? He sees that my profile says top. He didn't respond to me with a message. And about 5 minutes later, it hit me. Like, I got the epiphany. It's like, the reason he sent me this picture is because this man has tried other tops before, and he's gotten them to bottom. He's actually got other tops to bottom. And so the reason he sent me that dick picture was because he was certain that I was going to go for it. That's when it hit me, because I'm thinking, like, what would make a person, like, why would he waste his time? He sees my profile says top. He knows that I might be trying to crack. So then why would he do what he just did? It just makes no sense. And actually, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect fucking sense. If you're a top and other tops are always trying you, one, they might just try you because you look good, right? But that's not it. Remember, in order for them to send you a message, like a dick pic, or to ask you if you'll bottom or what your position is or whatever, a couple things are going on. They either didn't read your profile, which is already a big red flag, or two, they read it and said, I don't care because I've gotten other tops to bottom for me before, and I'm going to get this top to bottom for me as well. And so, once I had that epiphany about what that guy was doing, that actually made me even angrier than I was before, because I don't like people insulting my intelligence. I don't like people assuming that I'm going to abandon my values because you look good or because you have a big dick or something. Like the last thing you should send me is that. And actually after that, it kind of sent me on this mental spiral of me thinking, like, well, what's the most effective way for a top to try to convince a top to bottom for them? And I was thinking, like, the thing he chose to do was actually kind of strange. Like, he chose to send me a dick pic. It's like, wouldn't it have been more strategic, more intelligent to send me an ass pic or to respond to my question? Like, to me, that seemed like at the time that would have made more sense. Like, because it would have been better to trick me into thinking that maybe you would have gone for it and then try to, like, get me to hang out with you or something and then try to crack or something later. That seemed like that would be like a more intelligent sequence of events. And well, one thing I'm learning is that a lot of times these guys really aren't that intelligent, but it's not even about that. It's about the fact that all that particular guy has to do, this dude was like a 9 out of 10. All that guy would have to do is get online anytime he wants, and he could just send out 100 dick pics if he wants, 100 different people, and he will get both tops and bottoms. Even people who claim to be fully top, he will get both tops and bottoms to go for it because he looks good. He had a giant dick. and a lot of people are into that very combination. He was a pretty boy, a pretty ass black boy. Anyway, I just wanted to share that particular situation, and now we'll talk about how do you save your own cakes as a top? How do you avoid how do you avoid the jungle of other tops out there trying to get you? Well, one, the easiest answer is just stand on who you are. Like, this shouldn't even be like a real question, because it's sort of like, well, I mean, if you are a top, then the situation is pretty handled. There's very limited things that you two can do, and ultimately you're not going to go for it. Like, I didn't go for it. If you're a top verse and you prefer to top, and you only bottom under certain conditions or whatever, then like I know like a lot of verse tops won't bottom unless they're like in a relationship or something. So a guy like this you should be weary of guys like this as well, because this person will try you. They're going to see top verse in your profile. They're going to believe that they can crack, even though they don't understand what your boundaries are on it. The way you avoid it is you do not respond to a person that replies to you with pictures. A person that replies to you with pictures does not respect you. They do not respect themselves. They do not respect people, boundaries, or anything like that in general. My second piece of advice is you never ever, especially in general, you don't do this with guys that if you're trying to like build something. But if you're a top verse, you never ever meet them in a place where you can have sex, which means you two are never going to be in your car. You're never going to be in his car. You're never going to be at a hotel, an Airbnb, a motel. You're never going to be inside your house or their house. You can never ever be in these locations. The quickest way to eliminate a lot of people, if you're like trying to date, the quickest way to eliminate a lot of people is to make sure that you're only at public locations with a bunch of people. Because once you tell a person that that's where you're going to be at, they're going to disappear. They're going to eliminate themselves. They're not going to show up. They're going to stop messaging, whatever. The trash is going to take itself out. So that's the second piece of advice. I don't know. The last piece of advice is super meta advice. So normally what people say is, oh, have boundaries, and when you're in the bedroom, tell people those boundaries, and then don't let people go beyond those boundaries, etc. But I think there's something better you can do than trying to like adhere to and set your boundaries at the moment of sex. Because at the moment of sex, when it's about to happen, men's brains turn off and they're going to try you. Like if you thought they were trying you when y'all were on the app talking or texting or whatever, their tendency to try you is actually going to increase now that you two are both naked or whatever the case. So the trick is to not be in that situation in the first place. The mistake in with women and men and men, women and women, the reason boundaries get violated is because if you find yourself in a situation where your boundaries are being violated, you had to tell somebody something repeatedly, you're like, hey, don't touch my ass. Don't be trying to put a finger in there. Stop trying to turn me around. Women, whatever boundaries you try to set. The main reason this happens is because you're in the situation. The only solution when it comes to boundaries is to not be in the situation at all. You have to go back and do some archaeology on how in the hell you ended up with a person in your bedroom in the present moment. How did you end up in this situation in the first place? Because the only way that your boundaries can be violated is if they're in the bedroom with you. How did that happen? You need to backtrack. That means that something went wrong along the process. So those are my 3 tips for tops, verse tops, mostly verse tops that want to avoid. That last one is crucial. That want to avoid other tops trying them and having your boundaries violated. Because I can only imagine that would obviously piss you off, and then that would, especially if they're not going to give up some cakes too. I've seen a lot of videos of guys of verse tops who, they they hook up, and then after the other guy nuts or whatever, he's gone, right? He said he was going to give up some cakes, then he doesn't. And that's them trying you. That means there's a lack of respect. Afterwards, they're going to say they don't owe you anything, yada, yada, yada. These are all tricks that they're playing in order to get what they want and to ensure that you don't get what you want. So yeah, those are my tips for verse tops out there, and that was my particular experience with how I identified what it was that was going on inside the mind and the strategy of a top.